Warning, spoilers are present in this podcast.
Third World Cinema Club.
Hello and welcome to the Third World Cinema Club. I'm Karen May de Vera. I use my Karen powers for good. I'm a former kids magazine editor and a pop culture writer and all-around hype girl slash hosting geek events. So with me are these lovely ladies who will be celebrating Women's Month with me, Ika and Seth. So take it away. Tell us about yourselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Ika Hontiveros Cheng. But you can just call me Ika Cheng from Team P Cheng. So like Karen, I'm also a pop culture writer. So we are here with Ses for Third World Cinema Club's Women's Month Special.
Yay!
Hi. As you know, this is me, Sis, from Third World Cinema Club, Film Police Reviews, and moderator of a lot of women in film thingies recently. So here we are, our own Women's Month Juvenes. So Karen, what are we gonna talk about today?
Today, we are talking about my pick. I'm so excited. It is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I'm so excited to talk about Dr. Harleen Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn, because I've been a fan since she first appeared on Batman the Animated Series. 90s kids will know
Yes.
what I'm talking about. Because she started out as like the sidekick in the series, and then eventually they canonized her, and she became like actual character in the comics. So that's pretty cool. Plus, you have more than one female superhero in a movie. Oh my gosh, that's possible pala, diba? You know, you always have a token chick, and now you have a whole group. It's like a super girl group, parang K-pop. Sobrang natuwa. Parang nanonood ng Spice Girls. That's how excited I am for this film.
Tama. Nice intro. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, actually guys, ayun, while we were discussing on which film about women we were gonna tackle, interested kaming tatlo on the Harley Quinn angle kasi yun nga, as 90s babies, present, parang siya yung laging inichipwera, na character sa DC Comics or sa, hindi naman totally itsipwera, pero lagi na siyang sidekick. So for me then, personally, when I first saw Margot Robbie's interpretation of that character sa Suicide Squad 2016, don't watch it. Joke. Watch it pala. Char, watch it for Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie's interpretation kasi sobrang she gave justice to the character, although there has been a lot of meron akong particular na note dito, sandali hanapin ko lang pangalan niya, nawala siya, basta siya yung for me second siya na pwedeng mag-portray, maganda yung portrayal niya. I forgot yung kay Brandon Ruth na Superman, diba nandun si Harley Quinn pero Brandon Roth.
So siya?
Oo, sandali. Wait.
While you're doing
Sige,
that,
game.
Yay!
Game.
Karen is showing her Harley Quinn plushie
Yeah.
doll.
I love her voice. Like, it's the only
Yeah.
because I have such a Martinez voice. That's probably why I love Harley. I can relate. So parang Tina's kasi Arlene Sorkin's the original voice actor. So everyone just kind of copied her, or just kind of integrated that inflection. So medyo iba yung kay Margot Robbie. It's more Brooklyn, like like Mr. J, like that. And I think there's an animated series, diba? Like with Katie Coco.
With Kaylee Cuoco, yeah.
Joker naman.
Mm-mm.
So very interesting stuff, and I'm excited to discuss with the two of you and the three of us. I hate Birds of Prey because I like seeing the evolution. You mentioned, says earlier, that the first Suicide Squad movie was just not the best depiction of her and of the other general.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see the evolution, and we're gonna delve deep into that. So did you find what you were looking for, Seth?
Not yet. Pero sige,
Hanap
go
pa.
lang. Sige. So,
Sige.
ayun, what should we tackle first? Yung si Harley Quinn as the character or the movie Birds of Prey, which is like spin-off?
Siguro we can start with yung Suicide Squad 2016. I mean, since we're talking about evolution, 'di ba? So we'll start with that
Chronological na lang.
yeah.
When did we first see her in the mainstream? Kasi matagal na siyang nandyan. Like I mentioned, she was an animated series. You only probably know her if you watch the cartoons, you read the comics, you play the video games. Pero yung Suicide Squad, to be fair, that's like the first time na medyo naging mainstream siya for like non-comic book fans or like yung medyo normies or like non-geeks. Doon nila nakita and you know, that was the movie that launched a million Harley Quinn
a thousand Harley Quinns.
her with like the bat, like everyone,
Yeah.
her tita was dressed up as Harley for that Halloween. It was just very
Oo
interesting.
nga. So let's talk about the costume here in
yes.
Suicide Squad 2016. Yung yung My Little Monster, Daddy's Little Monster?
Una na kayo.
Yeah, Daddy's Little
Una lang.
Monster.
Marami akong gusto sa
Ikaw muna, Ika. May notes si Ika eh. I know.
hindi naman sa notes. But I guess from a female perspective, no, yung her outfit, I mean, she changes into that yung Daddy's Little Monster and then she has this like choker na may pudding na nakasulat. And then yung shorts niya, grabe.
Grabe. Hindi yung shorts.
hindi
Grabe.
hindi shorts. Yung kanyang shorts na parang
Yung Tagalog term.
labas na talaga yung butt cheeks niya and yun yung outfit niya and you know she's tapos naka-heels pa siya nun and she's on a mission, going to beat up bad guys. So parang sobrang not practical talaga. 'Di ba parang and then yun nga the scene where she's changing into that. 'Di ba yung lahat ng tao nakatingin pa sa kanya. Tapos parang so talagang she was really sexualized in this first movie talaga. So starting with the costume, with her outfit. And then yun nga yung relationship niya with Mr. J, with the Joker na talagang pinakita na parang ano talaga siya. She is Joker's woman. Parang ganoon na parang ano talaga siya. Pagmamayari ni Joker, 'di ba? So ayun, I think yun nga since we're talking about Harley the movie. I mean Harley the character in the movies, yung journey niya. So ito yung first stop na we see her as this character na yung skimpy yung outfit, tapos yun nga pag she's in this abusive, sabihin na natin abusive relationship with the Joker. Although hindi naman siya masyadong na-focus sa movie, ang pinakita nila was yun nga na parang object siya na pagmamayari siya ni Joker. And I just want to add, there's this part there in the movie na si Captain Boomerang, he parang tinitiknan kasi diba I think in the animated movie or what nung Suicide Squad may thing si Harley and si Deadshot so I think they tried to lightly imply that in the movie. And then so there's this scene where si Deadshot is looking at Harley. I think papunta na siya kay Joker, i-rescue na siya. And then si Captain Boomerang looks at Deadshot and then he says, "You can't save her." Parang gumanon siya kay Deadshot. So parang, bakit? Bakit kailangan siya i-save, di ba? So I think that's...
True.
Ayan, di ba? It's we can talk about it na yun nga, parang yung character niya kailangan kailangan siyang i-save, question mark, ni Deadshot, kailangan siyang i-save, question mark, ni Joker. So ito yung niya, at this point, I mean in her evolution, we see her as, this character nga na she's owned, tapos yung sexy yung outfit niya, ganyan, and then she has to be rescued. Yun. So yun lang muna yung i-contribute ko.
Uy, okay yun kasi very good din. Naalala ko yan. Yan yung part na tinry niyang patayin. Tapos, spoiler alert guys, alam niyo naman. Tinry niyang patayin as instructions ni Amanda Waller. Tapos at the same time, hindi niya ginawa. Nakawala and then binaril din yung chopper, di ba? So parang ganun. Tapos yun din na para ko, So ayun, tama. In line with your dissection of Suicide Squad and Harley Quinn's portrayal doon. Si Margot Robbie, at least she's doing a little bit of justice, and the writers, of course, of her character are doing a little bit of justice for her character. Kasi talagang, she is somewhat of a crazy person, but at the same time, alam mo yun, parang she's trying to break off of that shell na she needs to be someone's slave, or she needs to be super hypersexualized, ganyan. Tapos yun, sobrang evident nung patriarchy. Yak talaga. Yung nga, para sa akin, yung dating nung nagpabihis siya sa gitna sa harap ng maraming tao. It's like, that's the male gaze right there, na parang, she's so sexualized. Nung una, iniisip ko, nung pinanood ko tong film na to, nung sinuot niya yun, kasi dati, we're used to seeing her as the clown. Yun nga, diba, yung red tsaka black and white.
Long sleeves.
Oo, tapos may scene nga doon na parang ginanon niya pa chinek niya kung bagay sa kanya, tapos bilang
homage.
Nag-evolve, ganyan. Tapos at the same time, I think, since they're trying to make this as like her launching career.
Very homeless.
Diba? Homeless
debut.
Siya, parang, debut siya, parang ganun. At the same time, pansin niyo yung umpisa ng film, may color na siya na blue and pink. So parang, I don't know, parang yung continuity niya, parang, okay. Nung napanood ko siya ng 2016, I was like, okay, debut film to ni Harley Quinn, hindi to debut film ni Joker. Or, andyan din si Joker. Crazy ass Joker. Pero, ito ay film ni Margot Robbie, or ni Harley Quinn. So, this is her debut film. But at the same time, tiri talaga ako, ganun pa si Enchantress. Sabi ko, what was that?
Ganun.
Naalala ko.
Yung you cannot.
Nakaka-distract yung ganun-ganun niya.
So parang ako...
Actually, lahat ng tao sa cinema na-distract. Parang natatawa sila pag ganun-ganun na siya.
Sino yung actress nun?
Cara
Delevingne.
Sayang nga kasi parang...
I vibe her as a person, pero in that film, parang, what happened?
Sayang nga kasi after nun, hindi na siya nag-acting.
Sabi ko, sayang naman. Ang galing-galing.
What's that?
Si Paper...
Paper Towns.
Paper Towns, Tsaka,
Paper Towns. Oo nga pala. Ala ko naman.
Can I add lang sa sinabi niyo, like when you were bringing up the male gaze, you were bringing up her being rescued. I don't even remember that. I feel like I erased it. I scrubbed it. I was just telling that I did not rewatch Suicide Squad.
She couldn't.
I could not do it because her characterization, again, I grew up with this character. So seeing her not live up to her full potential was very disappointing for me at that time. I think, just to disclaimer for everyone, because we were talking about her outfit. Again, we don't want to slut shame. That's not what we're doing. You can wear whatever you want as long as you're comfortable in it. But the depiction kasi in the movie is like, it's really through the lens of the male gaze. Like, it's out of male desire na you see that there's this scene na tumatak sa akin that I hate. Like, I really hate. Like, when it was pole dancing
dun sa
like some dude, some rat.
club scene, parang
Mr. J's just like, that's my woman. Like,
yeah.
To the max level. Like, again, I love pole dancing. I feel like it's a very physically challenging endeavor because I have friends who do that. Pero I just don't like the way it all mixed in that one scene. Where clearly nga, like what you were saying, that she's just an object to be lent. That's was the I felt when they were doing that. I understand that she is the sidekick, and that's how she's always been shown in the films. Actually, medyo ganun siya. Medyo maharot talaga siya. So, but I don't know, it just felt very uncomfortable for me. I think when we discuss the second film, where we see her, I think that's like a better depiction of being maharot, but with your own, parang with consent, parang with your own, parang you're empowered to be malandi. If that makes sense, for may license ka to nandi. It's not like someone's forcing you to be an object of desire. I think that's what made me really uncomfortable about the first film. And plus yun nga, yung she has to be saved. Like,
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but she got thrown in jail. Parang she can't fend for herself. Parang weird talaga. Plus again, it was like she was the eye candy for that film. Parang sobrang deliberate niya. Ayun. It just, I guess, as a female viewer, I felt very uncomfortable. And to be fair to her, I think she did what she could do that role. Siguro,
Mm-mm.
kaya makikita mo yung transition like when she has more uh, control over her characterization. Like how she's the producer in
Yeah.
Birds of Prey. She's gonna be producing other films. So, yun, mas makikita natin yung evolution with the female gaze. I feel like there's a difference between what guys think is sexy and what women think is sexy for like each other. Parang, like when you like what someone else is wearing, like you dress for other people. Like ganun ako personally.
Mm-mm.
I was mentioning that I think the other episode, like I dress up for my female friends. And I get super kilig when they're like, I like your outfit. Where did you get that? Pag, like when you're saying like, oy, bagay yung outfit mo for Harley. Pero iba no, like when it's like, parang it's all for like the male gaze na para siyang buffet, ganon.
Mm.
Parang ganun yung first movie. Like, if you compare talaga their outfits, like, dun mo makikita, that is the best example for male gaze, female gaze on how they depict Harley. Even the way she acts in the second film, and she interacts with everyone, regardless of the identity spectrum, mas believable and mas relatable for me as far as a villain should be relatable. So, thoughts, yun lang. I'm more excited for BOP. Kaya parang ito lang yung sasabi ko.
Tsaka pansin nyo, or if you can remember, Karen, and kung kanina napansin mo, Ika, yung dialogue niya, sobrang kadiri. As in, she kept saying the word pussies. It's like, girl,
Oh, yeah.
yung parang she was trying to like belittle the guys that, they're just pussies, ganyan. I'm, as a fanatic of, Harley Quinn, di ba hindi naman sinasabi yun sa comics? Like, or kahit kung sa animated series naman, from what I remember dun sa Harley Quinn character.
Ay, hindi.
Hindi siya
Pabata
ganun.
yun.
Mas playful siya doon.
She's so
Yeah.
playful. Dito tayo
Parang
pussies.
somebody
Ganun.
writing.
Oh, so
Tapos there was this part pala in the movie, she was licking the bars dun ng jail cell, di ba? Nakakaano talaga.
Oo, na parang,
I mean, yeah, she's crazy, pero syempre, iba yung dating, di ba?
Oo.
Yun nga.
Tsaka I don't
Medyo
think,
Presented, no, and how it comes across.
yeah.
like for example, dun sa Birds of Prey, na later on, she shows a lot of craziness doon. As in ibang level, psychological levels yung crazy, which will tell me. Dito kasi parang, I mean, yeah, she's crazy, pero she's not gonna like a bar cell, like, diba? Parang, basta, yun. So, I guess that's it for for Suicide Squad 2016.
Kasi excited na kami mag-Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Oo. Tapos, later on, we're gonna tackle din si, yung
The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. And then yung konting snippets ni Harley Quinn as a character sa comics, from what you can remember, what you like.
Even the animated series, I feel like it became like a good byproduct of Birds of Prey. Like,
Yes.
parang there's more visibility for that kind of Harley, the female gazy, queer gazy because of her relationship with Poison Ivy. But we will get to that later. But
Yes,
I super
later.
like that more.
I'm so interested with the animated. Sige, game. Tsaka sa
Sige, you have to watch it and then we'll talk about it. I guess I'll intro Birds of Prey. This is something I also wrote when I did the review on this.
Natatawa ako kasi si Karen she did a review for Birds of Prey sa Cosmo. Tapos may nang away sa kanya na fan. Oo.
Talaga?
Sabi
Sabi sa'yo.
na maalala.
Oo, I don't remember the details pero kasi nga, 'di ba, when Birds of Prey came out, it wasn't received well by by the
Yeah,
fans,
it's
'di ba?
interesting. It didn't have a good review. Yeah.
It didn't get good reviews. And yun nga, I think kasi unfortunately, people wanted that Harley Quinn na pa sexy, na na slate na object of Mr. J, ganyan. So when she comes out na she's emancipated, na she's yung suot niya is reasonable and very yun nga, hindi na sexy.
Very practical.
Very practical. Parang there was, I don't know, a backlash ng mga fans. I don't know. So it wasn't well received or sabi rin nila yung sa marketing kasi diba ang haba nung title. Birds of Prey.
I love that title.
Actually, ako gusto ko yung title.
If you watch anime, this is not even long.
This is
And
just enough.
there's Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So
I
para
love
from a marketing perspective, they even tried to parang the first week nung re-release, yun yung title, yung long version. Tapos nung second week, I think they just cut it to Birds of Prey or something. So, ayun. So, di ba? So, parang it's kind of it's kind of sad lang na na yun nga, yung kasi tayo, we were uncomfortable with what she was wearing in Suicide Squad 2016. But this was the one na, yun nga, di ba nung Halloween, ang daming yun yung costume nila.
To be fair, it's a very accessible costume. Ako,
Yes.
personally, I have no problem dressing that.
Talaga.
I mean, just owning your femininity or however you want to present. It's just the way it was presented was uncomfortable. Didn't feel like siya yung may gusto mismo eh. Parang it was obviously like the case of like a guy writing about a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in movies in general, like halata pag lalaki yung nagsusulat eh. Or basta hindi babae yung nagsulat ng character. Parang
which brings us to Birds of Prey, di ba? Na it was directed by a woman, written by a woman, di ba? And it's something na we felt, di ba?
Group of women din.
Group of women there.
lang. So,
go!
So, here's the thing. Like what Ika said nga, I wrote it for Cosmo. So, what I wrote for that, it's sobrang perfect. It was, for me, like the best breakup movie ever. Especially, it was very personal to me because it's very relatable and I could relate to like that journey that you go through. Yung magwawalwal ka, tapos you're gonna find your hobby, makikipag friendship ka with people like beyond your social circle. Parang everything she did in that movie, it was just like ramped up to like 100. That's something I feel like I do or like everyone else does when they go through something. I mean, everyone has their own coping mechanism. I think that's why I really enjoyed it. It's directed by Kathy Yan, and it's written by my favorite screenwriter, Christine Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee. She's gonna be writing The Flash. She's gonna be writing also again for Margot Robbie for Pirates of the Caribbean. So very exciting stuff from her. And this movie was produced by Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie. This film was produced by Margot Robbie, and you can see like all the stark differences when it's women at the helm. You know, women running the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
From like the way they present the costumes, like it's practical, but at the same time, it's the thing that we like, right? When we dress up for our friends, like, I like that. Where did you get that? Pero basta nakuha yan. Parang gusto, like, matching tayo. Di ba maganda yung mga outfit niya dun and like, it made you wanna wear it. It's still accessible like the first film. Pero it's like, parang thrift store heaven. Like, pants. Actually, even each and every character may kanya-kanya siyang aesthetic, which I love na pwede kang pumili because usually, as mentioned, there's always like a token chick na wala tayong choice. Like, no offense to Marvel, pero for the longest time, it was Black Widow. Na parang, okay, all the women are like, okay, so ito yung representation namin. Black Widow for all these movies. Ilang movie na. Diba, like, isipin mo, 2022 pa lang tayo nagkaroon ng variety for that. Although I love both Marvel and DC. But I'm just glad that DC had like that whole girl power film. Naunahan pa nila yung Marvel. Marvel had like that thing sa Endgame, but I feel like it was not enough. We need more. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what do you girls think?
Sige, ikaw muna.
Sige, go.
Hindi, ako, I wanted to say pala about the wardrobe. Sobrang kahit yung mga glittery, spanky outfits na dito, and especially yung breakup moods na outfits niya, totally wearable. At the same
Yung onesie.
Oo, yung onesie. Guys, gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo kung nakikinig kayo, hindi kasi comfortable mag-fishnet stocking sa loob ng panty. Diba? Ang hirap! Tapos ganun yung outfit ko dun sa una. Diba? So it's just the same as them thinking na yung suot ni Superman na spandex muna bago yung trunks is uncomfortable.
Welcome
diba?
to our world.
Welcome to our world. It's not that easy.
Naka-heels pa siya.
Naka-heels pa. Tapos may baseball
Naka-heels pa siya.
Heels? Ano ba?
Sa Suicide Squad 2016, naka-heels siya noon. Like,
heels na parang rubber shoes yung unang
parang
style.
boots.
Pero, parang siyang boots na basta yun. Sabi ko, at
So,
least dito.
digress, naalala ko yung sa Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tumatakbo yung heels.
Si ating naka-heels, basta yun, si ate.
Bryce Dallas
Ayun, si Bryce Dallas.
Howard. Yes.
Ayun. So, anyways, ayun nga. For me, si Birds of Prey, I was so surprised. I had super low expectations. Kasi hindi ko nakita na si Margot Robbie yung nag-produce. Ang kwento ko noon is, parang pinapanood lang siya sa amin ng boss namin for a Friday night thing ng buong office. And I was so amazed. As in, lahat kaming girls na magkakatabi. We were like, I would definitely buy a leopard ba yun? Tiger?
Yeah.
I would definitely buy an
hyena.
animal. Hyena pala.
Hyena.
Si Bruce.
Si Bruce. I would definitely buy a pet, to accomplish me through the hard times of breaking up. Tsaka, yun, nakaka-relate din kasi ako sa kanya. And at the same time, gusto ko yung way ng pagkakapresent ng ensemble dito. I just want to commend that, na ang hirap kasi manood ng ensemble film. And I'm sure it's very hard to write an ensemble film din. Na at all the while you have this one character na si Harley Quinn, she's dealing with a lot of things, she's also a criminal, ganyan. So at the same time, nagbabato ng mga extra characters na sobrang parang they're part of a painting, parang ganun. Para siyang part sila, yung poster niya itself is really beautiful, na parang hindi sila like maliliit na characters. Parang may purpose bakit ganun yung size nila, ganyan-ganyan. Ba't sila nasa likod ni Harley Quinn, ba't nasa harap sila, parang ganun. So alam mo yun, sobrang ang galing ng pagkakasulat, ng pagkakagawa. At the same time, yun, yung dialogue niya, it's not, hindi siya masakit pakinggan, na parang, kasi for example, if it's a breakup, and a man wrote about a woman's heartbreak. It's all about them, venting out on someone that they've lost. Well, yeah, someone that they've lost. Pero, hindi sila maglalagay na, may rebound agad. Hindi sila maglalagay ng like what song we were listening to, what emotions we were trying to write out, or, mga ganong may thoughts pa siya nun, di ba, na parang, nako, gusto kong gawin to, ganyan and stuff. Tapos pati yung food, yung amazement niya sa cheese ba yun? Cheese na sandwich or something?
Sandwich.
Egg
sandwich.
Egg sandwich.
Yung egg sandwich niya, yeah.
Yung sobrang...
yung ice cream.
Yung... pati yung melted cheese, parang I gotta have it. Ganun siya. Pero when you look at it, it's just her misery of what's happening to her life, diba? Kaya parang dito na lang siya nagharap ng solace, which we girls do, di ba? We do that when we're heartbroken.
Super relate. Yeah.
It's good you brought up the ensemble kasi nga, it's not just Harley Quinn. You have Cassandra Cain, Black Canary, Huntress, Renee Montoya, and then they each have their own little stories. I mean, objectively, I would have wished na it would have been longer, but that would have been like, or it would have been broken up into parts. I feel like it could be its own film in itself, the whole Birds of Prey thing. Yun lang, but I think I still liked it. I mean, I still really enjoyed it. I'm very surprised that the reviews weren't that good. I don't know if they just kept comparing, or you know how people hate the so-called female agenda.
Yes,
They
oo.
felt na pilit daw, which is so strange to me because the first film naman felt very pilit to me in terms of making her like the eye candy and all
Yeah.
that. She's always had this certain yung sexuality, like may ganun siyang dating, but it was just not executed well. You can be very empowered in your sexuality and being intimate and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not the prude police. It was actually shown quite well in the third film for me, personally. But we'll get to that
We'll
later.
get there later.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I wanted to say for Birds of Prey, since we brought up the ensemble, na when I did my rewatch, and I enjoyed my rewatch. Kumbaga, I enjoyed watching it in the cinema. When I did my rewatch, masaya. I realized na the characters, the ensemble, each of them are as a victim of circumstance, 'di ba? So may kanya-kanya silang So of course si Harley, she got out of an abusive relationship. Si Black Canary, she grew up in poverty, ganyan. And then ganun din si Cassandra Cain, 'di ba? She has this foster parents na nag-aaway, so probably abusive din yung home niya. And then si Huntress, violent din yung kanyang past. And then I guess ang pinaka makaka-relate tayo from a realistic perspective is si Detective Montoya na ano ba to, yung career niya na she's a good detective pero hindi siya na-promote, 'di ba? Ang na-promote yung partner niyang lalaki.
Ay,
Just
nako.
because lalaki, 'di ba? Diba? So ito makaka-relate talaga na she's good at what she does, but they don't give her the credit kasi nga babae siya in a male-dominated profession, which is pagiging police. So yun nga. And then nung nag-rewatch ako, doon ko lang na-realize yun. And then each of them, yun nga, they're a victim of circumstance or of society treating women like this. And then they band together, 'di ba? And so that was nice to see na sila yung nagtulong-tulungan in the end. So yun yung parang na realization ko during my rewatch.
Nice. Tsaka,
Can
ano,
I
ganda
break
rin ah.
Yeah.
Gigi,
Go
go
ahead,
lang, go
Sel.
lang. Hindi ka muna. Hindi pa ako. Go.
You guys were talking about food kanina, and then I just remembered what I love most about this film is that gorgeous cinematography for the breakfast sandwich. How there was this whole arc about it. Diba nung hinabol siya ni Rene Montoya, tapos may pa siya, may parang revenge arc siya na, you killed my sandwich!
Oo.
It's just so funny to me because usually it's like what you avenge like a partner, avenge like your jowa, but I like that she moved past that. Okay, so she did initially come into existence because of Mr. J, but she went past that and she became her own person. I think also in terms of the comics, like you see her more alone without Joker. Like usually kasi tandem sila. And now you see her with Poison Ivy or like may sarili na siyang lakad. You mentioned the toxicity. Like I feel like for me, that's very personal. That's something I've gone through, like having a very toxic relationship. I don't know if you've ever encountered that. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic, or even sa family. Like
Sa family,
it's
yeah.
very emotionally and mentally draining. So I feel that's interesting journey to have. So like if humuhugot kayo, I feel like this movie is perfect. Nagbaband together sila as women. And then, in terms of the female gaze and fashion, so interesting for me that ngayon lang tayo nakakita ng practical application of the female gaze, which is like, the
Yung
hair
hair tie, yeah.
like hair up siya. Like we're always thinking, wait, how are they fighting in heels? Tapos yung hair
Yung
nila.
buhok, yeah.
Oh, yeah, diba? Yung hair. So, it's so realistic. It's so interesting, diba? Nagtulungan
Hair
sila.
tie, yeah.
Oo. Tsaka, di ba sa ano yun, spoiler alert, sa fight scene yun eh, they were trying to fight, tapos parang, yun nga, may nagkulang ng, teka, kailangan ko ng ano, gano'n, ng help.
Nakita mo like before then, di ba parang she kept fidgeting with her hair, si Black Canary. So parang that was like the prompt part. It's such a girl thing.
So
I love
Yeah, I
it.
don't know. I have hair tie, see.
Tsaka, yun nga, kanina guys, before we started recording, naglalagay kami lipstick, gano'n. Kasi, di ba parang, ay, ang ganda naman ni Karen. Ano siya, naka-made up siya. Sige ako nga rin. Mga pala, ano tayo ngayon? So pretty. Tapos, ayun guys, syempre audio to, no? Naka-ano siya, naka-Harley Quinn inspired na outfit. Pati siya Ika. Ika,
I'm
pakita mo
actually,
shirt mo.
I'm wearing my Birds of Prey na shirt.
Ayun. Cute. Ako, ang contribution ko, nag-lipstick lang ako. Ayun. Tsaka speaking of toxic relationships, yan. Noong 2016, may ka-toxic relationship ako nun.
Hala,
And I liked it. So, it's a sign. Nagustuhan niya yung Suicide Squad. I was like, huh? Ano maganda dun?
Red flag.
Yun na yung red flag.
Red
So,
flag na siya, girl.
Chemicals kung saan linublob si Harvey.
Oo. Sabi ko, that's so very, kasi di ba si Joker is like way decades talaga. He's way older than Harley Quinn, kahit sa comics. So parang doon pa lang. Kasi di ba si Harley Quinn's like this parang little girl siya. And I don't remember the episode. Basta naalala ko ng bata ko. Or parang coming into teenagerhood na ako. May napanood akong isang episode ng animated series ng Batman na nandun si Harley Quinn. Kasi nga, as usual, syempre, pag bata ka, naiirita ka dun sa medyo cray-cray na character. Pero naawa ko sa kanya kasi parang iniiwan siya ni Joker. And then she's like, oh, tapos parang sabi niya, so what's gonna happen with my life now? Parang gano'n siya. Tapos parang ako, okay. Kawawa naman pala siya. Nashock ako, sabi ko, kawawa naman siya. Oo nga, kasi lagi siyang sidekick ni Joker. Paano pag, alam mo yun, as a young girl, I was like, paano yun, naghiwalay sila ni Joker? Paano na nga siya? Kasi babae ka din, ganyan.
Yeah.
So, di ba? Yun.
May codependency yun, di ba? Like, it's so relatable yung that kind of relationship that it's boggles my mind that people keep saying relationship goals kay Harley and Joker. Like, watching the same film?
Yeah.
Diba? I mean,
the same thing.
Kasi alam mo,
You probably don't know.
When I saw it again earlier, sabi ko, tinulak niya si Harley. Hindi nalaglag si Harley, tinulak niya.
Lang si Chopper.
Si
Oo.
Chopper. Sabi ko,
Nag-gaslight si ate.
Oo. Tapos ang ending,
Kala niya siya ang may kasalanan.
Tapos ang ending, rescue rin siya.
oo, di ba?
Sana, di ba, tinapon niya si Joker. But yun, that's why we have the second film.
Yun nga, wait, I parang going back to yung evolution of Harley Quinn, yung character niya. Yun nga, in Birds of Prey, di ba, yung start ng film, hindi pa siya nakipag-break up kay Joker. It wasn't official yet. So parang, and then nung finally, break up na daw sila, ganyan. Suddenly, si Black Mask, yung character ni Ewan McGregor, parang, so hindi na pagmamayari ni Joker si Harley. Ako, I want to own her. Di ba parang may ganun siyang So parang, eto na naman tayo. Why does she have to be the property of somebody? Di ba? So, yun. Para I guess this is part of her journey as a character na in this movie, she's trying to seek her emancipation. Pero all these people are still trying to get at her. So, yung iba, comedy, kasi di ba yung mga may grievance, tapos gagantihan siya. Pero yung sa character ni Black Mask, yun yung talaga sicko talaga na I want her to be mine, parang ganun. And then there's this, I guess we should talk about it, there's this scene dun sa club ni Black Mask. Yung naingayan siya dun sa isang babae.
Oh my gosh.
Tapos di ba, ang ano nung scene na yun, it was so hard to watch as a woman, di ba, yung pinatayo niya sa table, tapos
Sobrang trigger
pinasayaw. Oo, di ba, I think, it's not, it's probably a scene to showcase kung gaano ka baliw si Black Mask. Tsaka, siguro turning point din yun for Black Canary na nakita niya na, ano, wala tong tong guy na to, he's really sick in the head, ganyan. So, pero as a woman, it was hard to watch yung scene na yun na pinapasayaw niya yung babae, tapos di ba pinapunit yung damit niya dun sa kasama. So, yun nga, trigger warning nga siya kasi, yeah, it's a movie, pero it also happens in real life eh. Di ba? Yung gano'n na pinagpapahiya ng babae, gano'n. And then, yun nga, feeling ng mga guys, pag property nila, pwede nilang pahiyain, pwede nilang gawin yung gusto nila. Di ba? So,
Ay, naalala ko yan, yung scene na yun, yung kay Black Mask. Tapos parang sa akin kasi the whole film was like, I mean, I think I'm a feminist, pero tapos parang sabi ko, this is a nice film kasi it's, it's very empowering, ganyan, it's relatable. Tapos nagkaroon ng ganung scene. Tapos yun, tama, same feelings na parang, parang na-shock ako na, parang alam mo yun, parang maputing walls, may isang stain. Yun yung stain. So ako, na-shock ako na, oh my God, this is happening again. Parang there's some sort of, patriarchy happening, and then, parang alam ko may sinagot siya dun eh. May sagot si Harley Quinn dun or something. Na parang, okay. We're back in the right film. Parang, nakalimutan ko. Basta, may sinabi siya. Parang di ba sinabi siya na gano'n ni Black Mask. So yun. So anywho, yun.
Pwede naman, I think, na probably the director, the writers intentionally put that scene there to make the audience uncomfortable talaga. Kasi feeling ko, I don't know, I just,
Tama naman, tama yung observation.
Diba?
Kasi nabother din ako.
Oo.
Siguro to take him seriously. I mean, because he's kind of a campy character. I mean, throughout that film, parang wala lang, he's just funny. And then you see that scene and like, okay, he's crash fire, and we need to dispose of him. So like, if you're mentioning the whole comparison, like, I remember at the last part, he was saying, you need me. So, and then Harley did that whole Mr. J comparison. Kasi nga, even people who are considered her allies, I mean, later on, like Renee Montoya, I remember her saying, like, she's not gonna last long alone. She's gonna look for, like, the next...
may scene na ganun.
But to break onto, and, I feel like that's a very relatable moment for a lot of women. Like, for the longest time you'd think, I think, especially after a toxic relationship, you have this codependency. You're so used to the highs and lows that when you're alone, it's so much worse because you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do. So sometimes, rebound happens, like you cling on to the first guy or like the first person. It happens, and it's not okay, but it's okay to acknowledge that it happens, and you make that kind of mistake or you make wrong choices in life where it's not your fault. You just really have to deprogram. Super nag-help yung mag-isolate ka from everyone. That happened with me. That really helped me. But to go back to the film, it's really the emancipation and how she realized that she didn't need to be someone's sidekick. She could just be her own anti-hero / villain. She could just be a girl boss and be by herself. I think defeating Black Mask was just to further emphasize that was like the physical manifestation of her just getting over Mr. J. Kasi wala naman siya dun eh. So parang siya yung proxy, diba? So like defeating him is like that idea that you need a man to be worth something, or you can only find worth if a man desires you, which is not the case at all. I think having all that female energy with all the groups around her, I think would also help. Kaya super love that fight scene, that really long fight scene. That how guys are always like, chick flicks are so boring, they're so soft, and then you see that scene like, oh, ano sabihin mo? Okay, comment ka pa kung sino yung hater ko dyan. Naalala ko na naman.
Ate, this is something I just realized now. In the movie kasi, 'di ba, she is seeking her emancipation. She's yung sa business card, she's writing her name, tapos
scroll lang.
tapos kung ano-ano sinusulat niya, finder of things, ganyan, mercenary, ganyan. So parang I think this is symbolic. Business card yun, pero it's her identity na parang, oh, this is me. Tapos Harley Quinn, wala nang attachment to
Sino
Joker.
na ba ako?
Yeah, and then in the last part ng movie, okay na yung niya, business card na. Maganda na. Pero I forgot ko nung nakalagay, pero kumbaga okay na siya. Presentable na. So, yun, ngayon ko lang na-realize na, ay, parang symbolism pala yun. And then, ito pala, I just wanted to add, I think, kasi for me, as, I love movies, ganyan. Pero, I've always been someone who kind of looks into, yung parang, I try to see how it reflects in everyday life. Kasi, kung nanonood ka lang ng movie, just to pass time or to enjoy, tas hindi mo naman nakikita yung messages and themes niya. So, parang sayang lang din, di ba? Anyways, I think it's, hindi naman timely, no? But I just like to acknowledge na, medyo seryoso to. It's kind of sad. Nagbigay naman ako ng heads up sa girls na, yun nga, there was in the news recently, there was this celebrity who was physically abused by her boyfriend, ganyan. So parang it's shocking kasi, I mean, and tayo we're talking about ano ba to? This is a women's special for kasi it's Women's Month, 'di ba? Tapos nangyari 'yun. So it's just na we're talking about girl power, ganyan. Pero in reality talaga, these things still happen, and si Harley, she was in an abusive relationship for a long time, ganyan. So parang there's still really a lot of women out there who are in these abusive relationships. So but hindi rin, I mean, it's not just physical din, 'di ba? Mental and emotional abuse din, ganyan. So it's just sad talaga na ganun, na these things still happen. And then hindi na ako nag-dwell sa comment section ng news kasi baka kung ano pang makita kong victim blaming or what. Pero, yun nga, 2022 na, tas bakit ganito pa rin, di ba? Why do men still feel na it's okay to hurt your partners? Ganon. So, yun lang. I just wanted to bring that up. And then, si Ces kanina mentioned na, medyo connected din sa first movie, si Karen, what's her last name?
Si
the actress.
The other character.
Not you, Karen. The other Karen.
Not you, Karen.
Basta si
Who played Katana. Yeah, she played Katana in Suicide Squad. She was physically assaulted.
Yes. She was Asian hate crime.
Oh,
no. A victim of Asian hate.
I mean, she's an actress na. What more regular person?
Yeah.
Oo nga eh. Tapos feeling ko, kasi usually, although may mga male victims din naman, feeling ko, kaya siya napunteriya or na kasi babae siya. So, mas feeling hindi lalaban or mas feeling na So, yun lang. It's sad din na ganito. It's still happening, di ba? And then si Karen, the actress, she always plays yung mga heroes. She's in The Boys. Oo, she's in The Boys now. Oo. Tapos yun nga, for something like this to happen to her, parang medyo nakakabagal din talaga. And yun nga, yun lang.
Tapos they ask us, the other day, I was in a Women in Film talk. I mentioned, I don't think he listened to this anyway. Whoever he is. Para sabi niya, bakit tungkol about women in film na naman? How about us men in film? Tapos 4 kami, ako as a moderator, and then the 3 guests. They were like, because we have to talk about it. We have to. Muno kami. So,
Kasi every other month of the year, it's for men and the why can't you give us Women's Month?
Correct, diba? Parang dapat nga, there shouldn't be any Women's Month anymore. Dapat it should be celebrated every day, di ba? Pero we still keep reminding, and we still have to remind them kasi we wouldn't have jobs, we wouldn't have the opportunity to speak if there weren't women before us who had to talk. Diba? Pero naman. Tapos yun, sabi ko, naalala ko kasi about toxic relationships. Sobrang biktima ko lang before, as in. It took me like 3 times to understand, toxic pala yun. Gano'n.
Red flag pala yun.
Pinaka last kong naalalang red flag na na-encounter ko in my life, na talagang yun na, talagang ano din ako, as in single muna ako for a while, ayoko muna magka-jowa or what.
Yes!
Pero jowa ko pero yun, siya, yung last before my jowa now was like 3 years ago, I think. 4 years ago. Tapos, ang breaking point sa akin was that he confessed na he raped someone in college. Tapos ako as a person, wow, it's a great thing you're saying this to me now. 1 month pa lang tayo nagde-date. Buti na lang. Parang ganun. Sabi ko, shit, alam mo yun, I cannot fathom the person in me na muntik nang ma-rape. Tapos yung magiging jowa ko or whatever, nang rape before. Tapos he got away with it because of money. Kasi it's like,
Proud pa siya? Proud pa siya sinabi sa'yo?
Hindi ko rin alam paano ko siya na-shell out. Basta, alam niyo naman tayo, investigative skills. Sabi ko, so how is your ganyan, mga exes, ganyan. Every day yun. Kasi syempre, fresh pa lang. Tapos he confessed. So, nung nakita ko yung kay nag-actress and her actor boyfriend, na parang na-trigger. Kasi although hindi ako yung rape, muntik nang mangyari sa akin ganun eh. So parang alam mo yun, sabi ko, when I was deciding to break up, I said, I cannot for the fathom the life of me to, maybe marry you and then realize na, wait, you raped someone and you got away with it. So that says a lot about your character. And alam mo yun, I bid goodbye, pero sabi ko, kawawa naman yung next person. Kasi alam mo yun, parang sabi ko, hindi ko alam, bahala na kayo.
That you got out. I'm so happy.
Oo, yes.
Diba? Sabi ko talaga,
you don't even see it. You think they're gonna change. That's something that I've been to. I feel like a rehab center or like a therapy center. Sometimes you feel like you can change them or you can heal them, pero that's your own journey and you should not take any part of it, especially if they're abusive. And we mentioned like a really sensitive topic, but it has to be said because with the pandemic now and the constant isolation, actually gender-based violence has increased because the abuser and the victim are in the same house. You can't go out because of the restrictions right now. So that's another factor. So it's still rampant right now. I mean, even in the international scene, it doesn't have to be physical, like even just emotionally and mentally harassing someone. So there's also another recently divorced Hollywood couple who the other party has been harassing publicly, and I'm gonna mention the commentary about it because I love what Trevor Noah said about it, like how if this famous person is going through this and there's nothing she can do, what more a regular person?
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to leave a very abusive relationship. People are always like, ang bobo naman yan, ba't di ko siya umaalis? Sometimes the risk is your own life. When you leave, you don't know how they're gonna react. They could track you down, they could kill you, trigger warning, but yeah, they can hurt you. You don't know it. That's why there's so many factors. It's such an act of bravery talaga to get out of that kind of relationship. So I'm glad that Ika brought it up. I think it does tie into this because, people glorify the relationship between Harley and Joker, but, it is an abusive relationship. It's a very controlling one at that, very manipulative, and very gaslighting involved. And the scariest part is this is something that most women have experienced in their lifetime. Or someone they know has gone through this. I think that's what's the scariest part of it is for me. Na it's so real and it's something that is still happening right now.
Correct. ang ganda. Pero it's
I
true.
think.
Kaya I'm so amazed that we chose this for our second episode. Kasi
Very personal eh.
very personal siya. And ayun nga, parang you don't know who Harley Quinn is, but I'm so thankful she got into the limelight because kahit na bata ko, I was wondering bakit may ganung tao? I mean, it's possible pala na maging alipin ka of someone. And then you realize na it's not okay. It's possible, but it's not okay. So, ayun. Kudos.
I remember lang, she has a dialogue in the movie pala na yung kausap niya si Black Canary, tapos medyo lashing na siya. Sabi niya, ano yun? Do you know what a Harley Quinn is? Yun nga, sabi niya na Harley Quinn ang purpose is to serve a master. Yun yung dialogue niya. Diba? And then sinasabi niya, what is a Harley Quinn without a master? Parang ganon. So, I think at that point in the movie, ano pa siya? Confused pa siya. But then by the end, she realizes that she becomes her own master. Diba? Which brings us, transition na tayo sa sa third film, which is The Suicide Squad. 2020, 2021? I'm not sure.
21 or
21. Oo, 21.
Unfortunately, for this movie kasi, it was released during the pandemic. So, hindi siya nagkaroon ng cinematic releases. It was just released on HBO Max and then HBO Go, ganyan. But for this one, I'll start na siguro. Hindi na ako nag-rewatch since fresh pa siya. So, si James Gunn yung director here. So, this is Harley Quinn coming from out of her Birds of Prey experience. So I saw her change here. As in, like, una pa lang yung sa outfit niya, right? Diba? So, she started sa 2016 Suicide Squad. Yung nakasulat sa shirt niya was Daddy's Little Monster, diba? Tapos may siyang po din na choker. And then we go to the Suicide Squad, the recent one, yung nakalagay sa likod ng jacket niya is Live Fast, Die Clown. It's just a mabilis na scene lang yun. Pero yung to go from Daddy's Little Monster to, yun nga, Live Fast, Die Clown, makikita mo talaga na may journey siya doon. She went through, and she came out, yun nga, her own master. Diba? And then, for me, siguro like, what I remember most about the film in relation to Harley Quinn's journey is meron na naman ditong character na gusto na naman siyang gawing pagmamayari, 'di ba? Yung president, yung Spanish president din, ewan. Basta ganun na naman, gusto na naman siyang gawing property, 'di ba? But what happens is it's Harley who, gets the most out of whatever yung what happened between them, and she kills the guy. So kumbaga she shows na hindi na na siya, enough na siya dun sa people wanting to own her, diba? And then yun nga, the president guy wanted her to be his wife, pero si Harley I think it's a fun change kasi diba usually yung mga lalaki yung they get what they want from girls, di ba? Pero in this case, si Harley yung nakaisa sa dun sa president. So yun lang, I think parang yun yung pinaka nag-jump sa akin. I mean, in relation to her journey.
Yeah. Go ahead, Seth. I'll be last na lang.
Sige. Sa akin, mabilis lang naman. Kasi sobrang, for me, parang saglit, glimpse lang siya dito na parang para siyang nag-pave way na to new characters ng DC. Yun ang dating sa akin. But still, she was consistent of her Birds of Prey journey. Hindi na siya Suicide Squad shit journey. She's more of the the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn na siya dito. She's wearing red, and then she's like, parang feeling niya may nakakaisa na naman sa kanya, so she's being smarter about it without being too crazy enough. I mean, she's crazy, pero she's crazy na in a good way, gano'n. Tapos at the same time, gusto ko rin na the Suicide Squad has other female characters, hindi lang siya yung female character. Like we have Amelia Harcourt, which was portrayed by Jennifer Holland, who buffed up and was also part of the Peacemaker series. The si Ratcatcher, Nandun din siya.
Yeah.
Ang cute ni Ratcatcher
Yeah.
nun. So yun, and then we also have Alice Braga. Police ba siya doon or something? Basta, nandun si Alice Braga. Yun yung naalala ko from it. And then, of course,
Rebel
si...
leader, parang, di ba?
Ayun. Oo. Oo, yun. Tapos, ayun, of course, si Amanda Waller, Viola Davis. You know, sabi ko nga sa boyfriend ko, I was explaining to him yung history ni Viola Davis as an actress. And as a person din, of color, ganyan-ganyan. Sabi ko, you know, ang trademark niya, kahit iba-ibang roles ang kaya niya portray, as in method na method siya, she always has pain in her face. Like yung misery, sorrow, everything, it's in her face, ganyan. So dito parang she's tough as hell, ganyan. Pero she's the boss. So, alam mo yun. Yan. So, yun lang. So, sa akin, sobrang fun nitong The Suicide Squad. It's a big change than, you know, Suicide Squad 2016. As in everything. Pati, ang naalala ko, they had a hard time. Parang may nabasa ko before, they had a hard time with si Croc. Dapat hindi si Croc yun. Parang dapat si Shark. King Shark. King Shark. Dapat si King Shark yun, but they couldn't find someone to play King Shark or something, or they couldn't write it into. So yun. So yun lang yung naalala ko na magandang bit. And then, of course, if we're gonna relate it to these times, I think ang contribution ng the Suicide Squad is that people again are being put in as a Suicide Squad to fight for a war that's not really theirs. So yun.
Good segue yan na.
Diba? Parang yun na lang siguro yung magandang aspect ng Suicide Squad 2016. Nung sinabi ni Deadshot na parang, so we're the Suicide Squad. You know, we don't really want to do this, pero they have to do it. So yun. So it's a perfect match kasi like, sorry kay Pete Davidson, papasok pa lang siya, pinatay na siya. Diba? Pakawawa naman.
Yeah.
Yun. So, yun. Ay, sorry. Go lang. Yun ang akin.
Thanks, so, ayan. And thanks, Ika, for introing it. I think we're just all very impassioned about feminism and like women's rights because, you know, this is something that you should celebrate beyond March. It's just that we just have to make ingay. Wow, that's so funny. Pero kailangan mag-ingay kasi talaga in this month para mapansin because, you know, we're always being talked over and all that. So, yeah, I'm just glad that films like this and like mga female-empowered films are like giving more visibility to that cause. So, for the Suicide Squad, di pala siya like in my head, it's always like Suicide Squad 2, but no, it's the Suicide Squad, which makes sense for me because I feel like it's a correction of all the misgivings I had with the first film. Like, they really not really retconned actually, they still follow the continuity, but they corrected anything that I found kind of sketch about the first film. This really feels like a culmination of Harley Quinn's journey and her character development because she's fully realized here. And in one particular scene, I think that's the best scene to really showcase how far she's gone, how much she's grown. Like we mentioned the president, when he was talking about, you know, slaughtering families and all that, she was just like, oops, red flag. Like she learned from her relationship, her toxic relationship, and she is applying that to, that's already a red flag. Pero natawa ko na yung red flag talaga. It's gonna kill children. Outfits are all very practical again. Something female gazy, I would still wear it. Although I would have loved more Harley Quinn in that film. I know parang pasulpot-sulpot lang siya dun eh. But okay lang kasi parang hindi lang saturation. Hindi lang feel na mag-rely lang on her star power, I guess. I freaking love that gown.
Yeah, yung red.
Taking butt in that gown. And this is something that was also in Birds of Prey. Like, I love the artistry of her action scenes. Like, for the third one, it was like the flowers for Birds of Prey.
Mm.
like the glitters.
And then the text, yung text.
Yun nga, it's very aesthetic, as the Gen Zers would say. And also, I remember, ano nga ba yun? Ang dami natuwa lang ako dun sa third day kasi parang ang dami niya natutunan. So, at least consistent yung characterization. Hindi siya nag-revert. Like, I was worried na baka yun yung mangyari kasi ibang director na, or like, it's a whole different storyline. Pero yun nga, yung another great scene was, that was correcting the first movie was how we hated that she got rescued. In this one, it's like, oh, you're gonna rescue me? I can just go back. Like, okay, we're gonna save our, may ano pa siya, operation. Ganon. And she's like she did it na.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then here's another thing. It's very female gazy. Even though it's not Birds of Prey, it's a whole different film, pero it still applied that whole female gaze for me because that president was super hot. And I was worried again because there was gonna be like a sort of like a spicy scene. I was like, oh no, baka gagawin na naman tong, like a male gazy scene. But no, it was all about the president being hot. As in, hindi man siya naghubad. She was just in her gown. And it was the president like putting up his shorts pa. Tapos nakikita mo yung toned legs niya. Not to objectify, but he has toned legs. Tapos diba pati siya, parang nung lumabas, usually sa mga pool scenes, it's usually like the girl in the bikini, like emerging from the pool. Pero for this one, it was the dictator who was very handsome and like emerging from the pool in his speedos and with all his abs there on display. And it's just interesting to see that parang reverse perspective, because you usually see that nga pag mga action films, it's usually like, okay, may hot girl, tapos yun na display siya or whatever. But it's nice to see na may equality naman. Okay, it's our turn. I mean, the straight women and the queer men, it's our turn to like ogle. Respectfully. And nga, she saves herself. She does not let a man drag her down. As in, nakita niya agad, okay, it's gonna be like Mr. J Part 2, bye. She saves herself. She wears whatever she wants. She doesn't wear it for anybody else. Nakita na niya yung worth niya as a person. Like, she didn't feel like she had to cling to like the next strong figure. Wala siyang care. Like, she almost did, but she was like, oops, wait lang. So, yun. I love that journey for her. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud.
Cute.
Dami natin na pagdaan. Kasama ako. So proud
Super
of this.
cute. Nice. Okay, so for closing naman, like, would you have any, naalala ko na pala kung sino yung actor na gusto ko mag-portray before as Harley Quinn, si Parker Posey. Tapos yung sa Superman Returns, hindi pala siya si Harley Quinn doon, si Kitty.
Sino ba siya doon?
Si Kitty Kowalski pala siya. Tapos parang sidekick siya ni Lex Luthor. So, siya yung naalala ko na, akala ko Harley Quinn yung character niya. So, yun. So, ayun, for closing, like, anything else you guys would like to share about the character Harley Quinn?
Ba? I'm glad that we got to talk about, a character and not just a movie. Parang that we got to talk about this character's journey. So there were like 3 movies in particular. So yeah, that was a nice, change of pace. And then we got to see this character's journey, and then because she got out of an abuse. She was in an abusive relationship, and then she got out of it, and then she learned from her past, and she's her own person. She's her own master. She got that emancipation. So I'm happy for her, for the character, and I'm glad that women, that young girls have her to look up to, na that I hope that they realize that they don't have to stay in abusive relationships, that like Harley they can get out of it also. Kasi diba tayo, we grew up with the Batman animated series, so Harley Joker ganyan ganyan ganyan. But this character Harley, she evolved, and now she's with Poison Ivy, diba? She's happier, she's in a healthy relationship, ganyan. So we see this journey, we see it's possible. So hopefully, for those of us who need it, we see that it can happen, that you can have that happy ending, so to speak. So, yun lang.
No, I just wanted to say as well, I guess I'm speaking as the token single person here, na I appreciated that she didn't, Harley did not have to cling on to someone. There were some near misses, but it just goes to show you don't need to be with someone or be in a relationship to be happy. You can be happy by yourself. Actually, it's more important to really know who you are. And that's why we went through this character journey just to get to know her. I think it can also reflect on yourself. Like, you can have that kind of journey for yourself and figure it out. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself? Without necessarily having a person with you, and to appreciate the love that can come from a platonic relationship, having your best girlfriends surround you, like in Birds of Prey. I think it's a very beautiful thing that they depicted that, and there was no romance. I appreciated that. It was just all fangirling over each other. Like how Hardy was like, oh my gosh, everyone looks so cool. And it's such a accurate portrayal of female friendships. Now you're just like supporting each other, pulling each other up and fangirling over each other, which we have done as well in real life. I hope to see more films like this. I just don't want this to be like a one-off or like not the norm. I mean, of course, Margot Robbie has been planning a lot of movies like Barbie and like the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I think this is something that she wants to do. See, in our first episode, Charlize is also doing that. So hopefully more will come, and it will not just be like this one-off unique thing, and it's gonna be the norm, and we're gonna get used to it. And I feel like this is a testament to how women can get shit done. If I can curse, right? Like that whole production, it was just like women doing decision making. It's just so beautiful. Even like behind the scenes and in the film. That's why I love Birds of Prey. But I do appreciate parang the result of Birds of Prey na we have the third film. I call it the third film talaga. The Suicide Squad. And also, yung dami na sinabi. I have so many feelings kasi. So,
Go
I
lang.
realized
Go.
also that people were chasing after Hardy. It's the same way that men in our society are so threatened by women. They think we are the weaker sex, but they are threatened by us. I mean, first they're threatened for us to vote, threatened for us to be in the workforce. Now threatened that we are, pushing a female empowering agenda, diba? So who is the weaker link, really? They are afraid of us.
Correct.
That we will take over the world, and we can. We're very capable of that. So, but at the end of the day, it's all about equality, but also being at this equal footing, if that makes sense. Like, men are so privileged in our society, parang they always have a head start. So you can't really say equality if you already have like the privilege to get ahead. So parang may hahabol. So, it went really far. But to go back to Harley Quinn, I just hope to see more films with the other members of Birds of Prey. Sana we have solo films that are female-led. I think this is proof naman na we can do that. Hopefully not just DC and Marvel and everything else. Okay. Thank you.
Yay! At least, diba? Tsaka, yun pala, whoever criticized your review of the film, I guess they're just too engrossed that it should be like the comics, but they should, I think whoever is a comic book fan who's listening to this must understand na the comics kasi they were written in the time that they were made, diba?
Mm-mm.
Like during those times, maybe the character who wrote or the artist who wrote Harley Quinn, she was trying to place Harley Quinn as the sidekick, but then realizing na she could probably evolve. So we're thankful for female writers who, who try to put this kind of not agenda, but maybe they make their audience realize that this is happening in the real world and this is something that we should change. So
Yes.
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm gonna look up yung comics ng Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Watch the series.
Yung
also.
series.
Yung series.
I'm not sure.
Saan yun?
I think
Teka
I
lang.
think it's on HBO Go. I don't know kung HBO Max for sure, but I don't know kung meron sa HBO Go. Pero most probably
Sige.
meron. Wait lang.
I'll try and look at it.
Okay.
Pero ang ganda nga kasi nga, yun nga, it became like the norm na hindi lang siya sidekick. Like, you see like the series na animated na she's her own person when there and she's trying to escape. Gusto ko yung storyline na yun that's so consistent lately with the comics. And I feel that makes her more relatable pa to women, to female
Mm-mm.
beings.
Correct. Ayun. So, ito na ba? Game na. All right. So, that wraps up our episode 2 of Third World Cinema Club Women's Month Special. Thank you so much for the Kraken's pick. Yes, Harley Quinn. Stay tuned next week for my pick naman, which is Dwayne Baltazar's Gusto Kita with All My Hypothalamus. So, listen to our first episode. It was released a little while ago, and it's about Mad Max Fury Road. So, gals, do you have anything to promote? Well, promote. Oy, Karen, yung event mo.
Can it be the public?
Ayun, sige.
It's a private event.
Ay, sorry, private pala siya.
Ano na lang, in connection with Karen, so probably just to let you guys know that she is an awesome host. So kung, especially now, we're going back to live events. So kung naghahanap kayo ng host, ayan, she is very much capable.
Wow, yes.
Capable, available, yes. So yun.
Tama.
And yeah, for myself, I'll go ahead. So, yeah, this has been Ika Hontiveros Cheng. You can catch me. My project is Team P Cheng. So that's my primary project. So please like our Facebook page, Team P Cheng. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Team P Cheng, and please follow me on my socials. That's at Ika_Cheng all across. So that's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I also do giveaways. So please follow. Ayun.
Yes, follow, like, share.
Yes.
Yes,
follow, like-
yes, please.
Also, yeah. Sino pa ako?
Ikaw.
I was gonna say, okay, so if you guys and gals need media coverage, Ika, Team P Cheng, Paul is there to like cater to your needs. Also, Ika is a great pop culture writer. She's also a bookworm. So if ever you have anything book related, see, this is what we were talking about. Lifting each other up. And now we have
Yes.
and now I met Cess. Because we were talking about how it's so rare to see like female film reviewers, at least in the circles we run. So it's like nice to have more of that. Okay, so where to find me? You can actually check out the review that Ika was talking about, the one with the hater. If you're curious, if you want to judge for yourself, it's on the Cosmo.ph website for Birds of Prey. I have other reviews there. And also, you can just check out my Instagram because I'm still working on my website. So just follow at Kraken_May. And I might pop up in like some of Ika's content.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, sige, I'm gonna link that review. I found it. I think I read
diba?
this. Cute! Okay. Ang lit ng mundo, guys. Nakikita-kita na pala kami before. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Please listen again next Saturday ang release, or just visit us on Spotify and filmpolicereviews.com for this episode. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.